I'd like to show you how to work a foundation double crochet, and this is the process where you work the chain and the double crochet at the same time. So this is a replacement for a pattern which says work a certain number of chain stitches, then for example skip 3 at the stitches and come back and work your double crochets. So with this method you're working all of it at the same time. I'm using a slightly thicker yarn than I normally do because I want to really show you exactly where these loops are, especially here in the beginning. It can be tricky, and then with the thicker yarn it's just slightly easier to show you where those loops are. So a foundation double crochet is a replacement for your chain stitches and your double crochets because you're working them all at the same time. I have a slip knot on my hook. I'm going to start by making a chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this case, these first 3 chain stitches from your hook are going to count as your first double crochet, and then in the 4th chain from the hook, so the first one we made, we're actually going to start building the foundation row, so the foundation double crochet. So if your pattern says, for example, work an X amount of chains, then come back skipping the first 3, then these 3 are going to be those 3 the pattern refers to. So this way you're going to have a chain 3 at the beginning of your row of double crochets. So in the 4th chain from the hook, it's this one here, we're going to start building our foundation double crochet. To yarn over for a double crochet, then insert your hook into that first stitch from your, so the 4th one from your hook. You really want to get both of those 2 loops there. You see I've gone through both. Then do a chain, only do a yarn over and take it off the first loop, like so. And this is going to be the first chain there, so this is building a chain for your foundation double crochet, and then take off your double crochet as normal. So what you've now done is you've made a chain 3 and a first foundation double crochet. So now we're going to continue basically doing what we've just done. Let me just turn my work a little bit because we're going to yarn over and go through this bottom loop we just made. I'm going to show it to you. It's going to be this one here. You see that little V that's formed there? That's where you're going to put in your hook now, and you want to get both of those little loops there. You're going to be building your next foundation double crochet into that stitch. So you're going to yarn over, and then indeed you're going to have to turn your work a little bit, but you want to get through those 2 V's at the bottom. This is basically the chain from the first stitch. So yarn over and pull through 1, and now you can see you're making a new V. That's this one here, and that's the one we're going to be working in for the next foundation double crochet. And now take off your double crochet as normal. So now you have 2 foundation double crochets and a chain 3. So we do that again, yarn over, and through that V. This does get easier as your row becomes longer. Then take through 1, and then take off your double crochet as normal. And again, yarn over, so through that V. You see there at the bottom, you see your V's are building up here. Chain 1. We're building the chain 1 by taking it through only the first loop, and then take off 2, take off 2. Again, yarn over, through this V here at the bottom, take off 1, and take off 2, take off 2. And that first chain you're building by this 1, that's a chain stitch, and then you do the double crochet stitch. And this is what you're going to be doing until you have enough double crochets according to the pattern. Take off 1 and 2 and 2. Let's take a look at what we've just made. You see here the chain 3 at the beginning, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foundation double crochets. And if you turn your work up, you see here these stitches that you've worked. So you're basically working your chain stitch and your double crochet stitch. You're working them at the same time, as opposed to first working the chain and then coming back to work the double crochet. So this technique is really easy if you get the hang of it. It does take a little bit of practice, so the first time around, if it doesn't work, just go back and practice a little bit more until you get these stitches correct. Especially here in the beginning, it can be hard to see exactly where those loops are that you need to go into. I'll show you one more stitch. Yarn over, go into that V stitch at the bottom, then do it 1 off, and then take 2 off and take 2 off, like so.